Welcome in, y'all. A little bit behind. We're good. We good. My name is Jeremy. Welcome into class. As the title suggests, we're going to be going towards hurdler's pose today. So if you already have that in your practice, something you've been playing with, we're going to try to incorporate it into the flow. If that's something completely new to you, we'll also have some time to kind of break it down. I'm going to challenge myself a little bit today. I'm going to try to get that shorter version of class like I've been trying to do. The shortest one I think I got was 50 minutes. I think 50 minutes was last on Saturday. So I'm going to try to go for 50 minutes or less, maybe 45. Try to get everything done. We're going to incorporate hurdlers into your flow. I would suggest blocks or something to squeeze in between your thighs. So thick blanket, throw pillow, big water bottle. If you have like a Nalgene or something like that, it'd probably work. A couple big books. We're gonna squeeze that in between your thighs to start off class with. So you won't necessarily need it later. If you do have blocks though, good on you. That's also something that you can put underneath your hands when you're in high plank, which will also make your hurdler's pose that much more accessible. Just be able to get yourself off the ground a little bit more. Totally up to you. If you have zero props, it's okay. You can do this class along with us as well. No worries there. So, if you're just joining, go ahead and get yourself settled up in a seat. And we'll start here in about 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, we'll regroup in a second. If hurdlers is completely unfamiliar to you, it is an inversion. It's an arm balance, rather. I guess it is an inversion. Your heart becomes above your head, but it is an arm balance. So if you know arm balances are no bueno, no need to worry about it. Skip it completely. You can just hold whatever pose is right before that or any other pose that's similar to that pose that you'd like to hold in between while we go there. We got about 5 minutes. Take time, grab props, all that good stuff. We'll get started. Getting started in about a minute here. If you're just joining in, we do have hurdler's pose on the docket for the day. Again, just a suggestion. I'm going to try to get this in about 45 minutes or so. Any props that you'd like to take along the way, feel free to grab them. I would suggest something a couple of inches thick, 4 inches or so. Say I got a block here, I always have them with me, but something that you can squeeze in between your thighs without crushing it. And give you a little more focus on your inner thigh and lower abdominal engagement. We'll go ahead and get started in a seat. So find somewhere cross-legged. Just like normal, move any flesh from underneath your sit bones. Get your sit bones completely on the ground. And before you get too settled, switch out the cross of your legs. Opposite cross. Yes, weird, awkward sensations, but that's what it's all about. We're using hurdles as our theme for class today as well. So come to your steady, still seated posture, and again, whatever that looks like. Close your eyes if that feels safe, or maybe just soften your gaze. Let everything become a little blurry, a little hazy. Not focusing on any one thing in particular. Using hurdles as your theme. Think of what's challenged you. Maybe what's challenged you to get here onto your mat this morning, afternoon. Time's irrelevant right now. Or maybe something deeper, something that challenged you this past week, this weekend, overall. But look at them as hurdles instead of brick walls or mountains to climb over. Simply something that with the right lead, the right trajectory, the right speed and lift, with proper planning, something that you can leap over with ease and finesse, and go on to the next thing. Whatever seemed like a brick wall to you lately, immobile, daunting, and huge, look at it as something that is able to be passed over with the right knowledge, the right preparation, the right mindset. And then open yourself up to finding that mindset, those preparations, physical or mental. Take a big breath in together. Sigh it out together. Do that again. Breathe in through your nose, long. Sigh it out just as long. Next breath in, seal your lips. Exhale through your nose. Stoke up Ujjayi breath, and then keep that breath through the entirety of class. In and out through your nose. And then starting counterclockwise, begin making circles with your spine around your hip joints to one side. And counterclockwise, going towards the left, back and right. And just get a little smooth, and then notice where you're lifting off the ground. Again, your base is your base. Allow yourself to stay connected there and grow up from that. When you feel like you've got some range of motion there, you've made a little bit of space, or at least found some familiarity with the space you're offered, then reverse your circles. Same thing, make yourself long. Notice the tendency to round your spine as if you're a stick in the mud. Can you stay up straight and draw this conical shape in the ground, this inverted pyramid? Just for 3. For 2. Last 1. Once you feel evened out, come through center, reach your hands up above your head. And then exhale, twist towards the left, both hands down towards the ground. So keep left hand on the ground, right hand to your left knee. Inhale, lengthen up, draw your belly up and in. And then on your exhale, pull into your legs to twist more towards the left. Take 2 rounds of breath here. Again, check in with your roots. Make sure they're both down, connected to the ground without lifting. Inhale, reach back up through to center. Then exhale, twist towards the right. Right hand to the ground, left hand to your right knee. You can inhale, lengthen up your spine. Exhale, pull and twist towards the right. You've got 2 rounds of breath at your deepest twist. All right, inhale, reach back up to center. We'll take it a little quicker. Exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, pull to twist a little deeper. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, deepen your twist. Inhale, reach up to mountain. Different this time. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the ground for support. Keep a flat spine. Lift through the back of your head. Inhale. Then exhale, hinge forward. Do that twice more. Inhale, lengthen, lift. Exhale, fold. 1 more. Inhale. And then exhale, lengthen down. 3 rounds of breath at your deepest forward fold over your legs. More breath in, breath out. Inhale back up through to center. Take both legs out in front of you, lower onto your back. If you have your block or props, take them with you. So if you have your blanket, roll it up into this thick burrito. And then come to lying on your back, take your legs, or your block in between your legs, your prop, all the way down your pelvic floor and squeeze it. Now if your prop isn't as supportive or not as thick, bring it up a little bit higher. You can take it closer to your knees. Just make sure that when you squeeze in, your knees stay relatively in line with your hips. That's the stack we want to have. From there, bring your knees up to stack on your hips. Legs come to 90 degrees. Take your arms out to a T, palms face up. And then draw your shoulder blades down onto the ground. So widen them out into the mat. Press into the back of your elbows. Maybe the back of your hands. The back of your hands can stay lifted though. Mostly focus here on keeping your right shoulder connected to the ground. Take a big breath in, squeeze your thighs together. On your exhale, twist your knees towards the left. So easy supine twist. Keep your right shoulder touching the ground. And you'll start to deepen towards the left. Attempt to stack ankle on top of ankle, knee on top of knee. Notice what's being resisted here. 2 breaths. Inhale back through to center. Knees come back to their starting position. And then exhale, twist over towards the right. Left shoulder stays connected down. Again, attempt to stack hip on top of hip. Knee on top of knee. Ankle on top of ankle. Press the ground away with your arms. You've got 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale back through to center. Take your block out to the side. Hug your knees to your chest. Give them a squeeze. And then we're going to take a modified happy baby. So grab your top of your ankles, top of your feet. Heels will stay close to your hips. And then let your knees splay out wide. You can press your elbows out wide into your knees. Now, this is a bit of a modified happy baby. So I want your tailbone to stay down completely. So notice, can you round the very tip of your tailbone towards the mat? Keep your low back flat. Keep your inner thighs widening out by pressing your knees away from one another. 2 more rounds of breath. All right, hug your knees back to center. So we're going to get familiar with this rock and roll up your spine. So round your forehead towards your knee, and then make this smooth, round shape through your spine, and let that be shown to you by the smoothness of your roll up and down. Let's take that for 3. For 2. Draw your belly in. Last 1. Round, smooth circles. And then tabletop. Right into a downward facing dog. If you want tabletop time, stay there as long as you need. Make that your shape. If you're ready for down dog, take it right into down dog. Pedal out your feet. We've got 5 rounds of breath here. So think about this V shape, this inverted V shape that you're making with your body. Can you draw your belly up and in, lift up high onto your tiptoes, and then try to push the top of that V shape where your hips are towards the back of your space and allow your heels to relax down with that pressure. And draw your belly down, or up and in, draw your lower ribs down towards your hips. And then notice where you're holding tension. Can you shake your head no? And then shake it yes. And then let it rest somewhere in between in a neutral position. Ears between your biceps. One more breath. Bend your knees, look forward. Slow journey forward to the top of your mat. Tiptoe your feet one at a time. Up to the top. Forward fold. One more round of breath in your fold. You can let your hands get heavy. If you have a more familiar version you'd rather take, you can take that. And then plant your hands on your top of your feet. Keep your knees bent. Slide them up to stand, but slide your hands up your legs as you come to stand. Unravel your spine. Feel every part of that movement until you finally come up to the top. Draw some circles with your shoulders. Open it up. Alright. Reverse your circles if you haven't already, and make that feel just as smooth in the opposite direction. And reach up, mountain pose. So hands above your head, pull your shoulders away from your ears, but wrap your thumbs out, so towards the back of your mat, and wrap your pinkies towards your face so that you open up your shoulders. Take a breath in. On your exhale, straight arm back bend. So squeeze your thighs together, reach your thumbs back, and as if someone put a beach ball behind your back, and you're trying to round your long spine along that ball. And then inhale, come back up to mountain pose. And then exhale, Samasthiti, hands to your heart. Bring your thumbs to your chest. Slight tuck of your chin so you elongate your neck. Come back to your intention and these hurdles that are in your class. That desire to go faster, or that desire to slow down. Can you allow that to be a guide? Not the deciding factor, but something that's going to help you along the journey of getting over those hurdles. Whatever's inhibiting you, holding you back. With that in mind, take a breath in. Sigh it out together. Inhale, seal your lips. Exhale through your nose. When you're ready to flow, open your eyes. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Slide your hands up your legs. On your exhale, low lunge, step your left foot back. Right foot will stay forward. On an inhale, twist. Reach your right hand up. Now pause here. I want you to take your right hand first to your chest. So touch it to your chest. And then instead, lift your right elbow up and allow your chest to come with you. Now, wherever you feel resisting there, that's where I want you to pause. Then extend your arms up. So let that be the spot where you have extension and rotation coming from. Breathe in. And exhale, both hands down. Step back to high plank. Breathe in here together. Then on your exhale, shift forward, lower all the way down to your belly. We'll start off with cobra pose. Flip to the tops of your feet. Inhale, cobra pose. 3 rounds of breath to start. Belly in tight. Press the tops of your feet down. Pull your chest forward, and then maybe float your hands off the ground. So you're using just the strength of your back. One more breath in. Then exhale, release down. Tuck your toes. Lift your tailbone to the ceiling first. So lift your pelvis off the ground. Squeeze your thighs together. Inhale to a high plank. One straight line to press up. Down dog on your exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or float forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. A little faster. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, straight arm back bend. Reach your thumbs to the back of your space. Round your middle and upper back. Inhale back to mountain. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale back to mountain, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, step your right foot back. Left knee stays forward this time. Right hand down. Inhale your left elbow up. You can take your left hand to your chest as if it's connected there. It's not going to leave. Rotate your chest by lifting your left elbow and shoulder up. Then when you can't get any further through your rotation, then extend your left arm up. Oftentimes it's extending the left arm up that you find a little bit of false space. And then there's not much room to go through from there. You're overlapping some muscles that need to be engaged first. Take one more breath in. And exhale, both hands down. Step it back to high plank. A little different this time. Breathe in and shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway down. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. All right, a little faster this time. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or float forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, straight arm back bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands to your heart. Bring your intention back. Last time through. Inhale, reach up to mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, step your left foot back. Right foot stays forward. Inhale, twist your right hand up. Stay for your breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back to high plank. Breathe in, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward dog. A little different this time. Lift your left leg high, inhale. Exhale, low lunge, step to your hands. Right hand stays down. Inhale, twist your left hand up. You can find that accurate amount of space here. Open up your heart to the left side of your mat. Last breath in. Exhale, hands down, high plank. Breathe in, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to upward. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 rounds of breath. Let everything there settle. All right, bend your knees and on an inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or float forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Chair pose on an inhale. Reach your hands up, bend your legs. And myself, I like a wide chair. I got a little bit wider hips, so the wider that my knees go, the more I'm accounting for that space in my hips. Again, your body may be different. Your feet together may feel supportive, strong, and progressional. So keep that. Let's take it a little wider here. 3 rounds of breath. Activate your abdominals as much as you can. Draw them up and in. Find the slight tuck of your tailbone forward so you get a little lift through your front hip points. All right, from your chair pose, on an inhale, one-legged mountain, bring your right leg up with you. Keep your left hand up. Take your right hand to your right knee. And give yourself a moment to lift through your left leg. So press your left leg straight as you can. Flex your right toes. All right, now take your left hand to your left hip. A little more support. With your right hand on the inside of your right leg, begin to open it out towards the right. So work to keep your left hips facing forward. And then add in a little more. Press your right knee into your right hand. So as if you're trying to flatten your knee up against your hand, but at the same time your hand is pushing your knee back, still trying to open it. You've got 2 more rounds of breath. So there's counter engagement here. With control, inhale back to one-legged mountain pose. Right knee stays lifted. On your exhale, chair with airplane arms. So step your feet together, bend to chair, reach your hands behind you. Now we're going to take the other side. Inhale, one-legged mountain, left knee lifts. Take your left hand to the inside of your left knee. Again, find your balance. Straighten your right leg as much as you can. When you're ready, take your right hand to your right hip. Get yourself support. Breathe in here, lengthen up. Exhale, press your left knee out and open towards the side. Same thing here. As you're pressing your left knee open, press your knee back into your hand as if you're trying to slightly resist. A little bit of teenage rebellion there. It's going to go with you. It's going to end up happening, but you're not going to go without a fight, right? 2 more breaths. Inhale back to one-legged mountain, left knee lifts. Exhale, chair with airplane arms. Reach your hands back. Clasp your hands behind your back and then extend them behind you. Find more openness through your chest. Can you squeeze your shoulders together? Drive your shins forward so you lengthen your hips further back. Take one more breath in. Then exhale, fold forward. Option to keep your bind here. Full round of breath. Then let your hands touch your low back and then release your clasp. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Flow your way to down dog. Alright, so let's start adding in those hurdlers options here. And again, hurdlers is a pose that you can work toward, you can build up to it, or it's something you can incorporate into your flow. So we're going to work that through here. From down dog, lift your right leg high, breathe in. Then exhale, bend your leg. So first, before you open up your hips, just squeeze your heel to your glute. Hips are going to stay in line with one another. With your heel squeezed to your glute, then start to open up your hip. Reach your right knee and inner thigh to the ceiling. Keep your right shoulder pointing towards the ground, so rotate it right towards the mat. Press equally through both hands. Allow your left heel to drop closer towards the mat. So a little more extension through your left leg. All right, breathe in. Then exhale, right knee to your right tricep. So shift forward, hold here. Now if this is already strenuous enough, stay here. You've got 2 more rounds of breath. Press your knee to your tricep, press your tricep to your knee. Squeeze your glute, lift your right heel higher towards your glute. Inhale back to 3-legged dog. One more time, exhale, right knee to right tricep. You have the option to shift forward. Bend your left elbow, bring your left elbow into your left hip crease. Next inhale, 3-legged dog, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step to your hands. Warrior 2. Open up to the left side of your mat. Whew. All right, so if that was already strenuous, well then, you're going to keep that one. That opened up a door for you and you're like, oh yeah, ready for that next. You're going to have options. We're going to come back to that in a second. But get strong through your warrior 2. Press your feet apart. Out of that teenage rebellion. They're mad at each other. Get them away from one another. Separate the rooms. Stretch your mat in half. Turn on the inside of your right leg. Can you press more to the big toe mound of your right foot to try to slide your foot further forward? Resist that with your left foot. Whew, that was getting me out of breath just trying to press. Full round of breath. All right. On your inhale, straighten your right leg and then triangle pose. Reach your right hand forward. Draw your right hip back and underneath you. So you're sassing your left hip to the back of the mat. One more breath in. And exhale, triangle pose. Right hand down. Same thing here as that twist earlier. So take your left hand to your chest. Rotate your chest open until you can't get it any more open. Your left shoulder should be somewhat stacked on top of your right. Then extend your left hand up and then begin to try to touch the back of your hands together. So you're pressing into your right leg and you're attempting to touch the back of your left hand all the way around to your right hand. Creating this full circle. 2 more breaths. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Keep your right leg straight. This time point your tailbone forward. Reach up, squeeze your inner thighs together. Breathe in. Exhale, low lunge. Side plank from here. Left hand stays down. You can keep your right foot down. Give yourself a moment to open up your chest here. Your right foot can stay down. You can step it next to your left. You can step it on top of. You can lift above. Find your side plank that's going to challenge you. You have 2 more breaths in it. Last inhale. And then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale down. All right, we get to mimic that on this left side. If something felt good, keep it. If it felt not as good, change it. Whatever that means for you. Left leg high, breathe in. Exhale, bend your leg. You can squeeze heel to glute first. Then stack your hips with that squeeze in. Then start to rotate. Open your inner thighs. Keep pressing the ground away. Lift your left inner thigh higher. Lower your right heel closer to the mat. Inhale, 3-legged dog. And exhale, left knee, left tricep. Again, hold here. Press your knee into your tricep. Press your tricep into your knee. Squeeze your left heel closer towards your glute. Press the ground away. Inhale, three-legged dog. Again, exhale, left knee, left tricep. Either hold here or hurdler's option. Bend your right elbow, place your right elbow into your right hip crease. Inhale, three legs. Send your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step it through to your hands. Warrior two. Right heel down. Open up. Yeah, that was just as strenuous on the first side as the second. Just as I expected. Same thing here. Power through your feet, drive them away. And can you, like when you were in your seat at the beginning of class, use your roots from the ground to get the top of your head taller. Draw your belly up and in, and then grow. As if you're sending energy up this elevator that is your spine to the top of your head. And allow that energy to flow out the top. 2 more rounds of breath. Straighten your left leg on an inhale, lengthen forward, send your hips back. Exhale, extended side angle, rather triangle pose. Left arm down, take your right hand to your chest, open up your chest, get your chest as flat and streamlined as your legs are, in line with one another, then extend your arm up. And you're trying to maintain that shape while opening up your chest and side body. So squeeze your thighs together, squeeze like you can bring the back of your hands to open up behind you. So if you're trying to do this backward seal clap. 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale, reverse triangle. Again, left leg stays straight. Reach your left hand up. Exhale, low lunge. Right hand goes down. Side plank. You choose that version here. Left leg can stay down. Again, that's great support. That's a great way to open up. Maybe stack, maybe stagger, maybe lift. Wild thing, also a great option here. 1 more breath wherever you've chosen to be. And then chaturanga on your exhale. Hands down and flow. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog. Full inhale. Full exhale. Let us move on, shall we? Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or float forward, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. All right. Chair pose on an inhale. This is where we be together. You choose your version. All right. Second option here. You've got yourself in a chair. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Right leg lifts with you. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Right hand inside of your right leg. Breathe in, lengthen up. Exhale, open towards the right. Now, if you want to take it a little further, you can stay here or grab your big toe with your right peace fingers and then kick your leg out to the side. You can try to start that straight first. Get your right out straight. Big toe pose towards the right. And get your inner thighs open. Here is more about driving your foot forward, rather kicking your heel through your foot into your hand and then resist. Pull your hand into your foot. Yeah, 2 more rounds of breath. Bend your leg, come back through the center. One-legged mountain pose, inhale. Exhale, chair with airplane arms. Other side, inhale, one-legged mountain, left leg lifts. Exhale, hands to your leg and hip. You choose the version. If you're going for big toe, grab your big toe. If you're keeping that same bent knee version, keep that version. Kick your left foot out if you're taking big toe, breathe in. Exhale, out towards the left. And kick your foot out. So you're keeping this counterbalance. Again, if you just sent your leg out there straight, odds are you're going to fall. So keep yourself engaged to support that lift. Pull your big toe back, kick your heel forward. 2 more breaths. Bend your leg, come back through the center. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, chair with airplane arms. Clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift up, open your chest. Exhale, fold with chest expansion. Inhale, halfway lift. You can let your bind go if you still have it. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant and flow. Find your way back to down dog, y'all. Your way. All right, let's add on a full hurdlers to this pose. Again, if you're just feeling the non-hurdlers version, let that go. Take your right leg high, breathe in. Exhale, bend your leg, and then stack your hips. Breathe in. Exhale, hurdler's pose. So right knee to right tricep. Either hold or bend your elbows. Shift your weight forward. Left elbow into your left hip crease. And then work to shift your weight forward like you're trying to touch your nose to the ground to lift your left foot off the ground. Squeeze your left glute. Breathe in. Breathe out. Three-legged dog on an inhale. Right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step to your hands. I'm sure y'all knock that out of the park. Inhale, warrior two. Open up. Exhale. Triangle pose, right leg straightens, extend forward. You get a full round of breath here. We're going to add on, inhale, reverse your triangle, reach your right hand up, and then Skandasana to the back of your mat. So turn your left toes towards the back left corner of your mat, flex your right toes till they lift off the ground, and then come into this half squat, back of your mat, Skandasana. Now notice when you're trying to bring your left hip down towards your left heel, is your left knee going way past your left toes. In fact, is your left heel on the ground. It's easy to find a lot of space with your heel lifted. It's a lot harder to find space with your heel planted on the ground, but therein comes the benefits. One more full round of breath in Skandasana. All right, look to the top of your mat, breathe in. Exhale, low lunge to the top of your mat. Left hand stays down, side plank. And again, if you took big toe earlier, you get to take big toe here. Peace fingers around your right big toe. Kick it up in your side plank. Woo! Hybrid pose as y'all take another big breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your hands in flow. All these, again, are options. You can stop and let go of any of these poses along the way. Let's take the left leg high. Breathe in. Exhale, bend and stack. Inhale. Exhale, hurdler's pose. Left knee, left tricep. Bend your elbows. Right elbow into your right hip crease. Lean forward. Squeeze your right glute. Kick your heel up. Next inhale, three-legged dog. Right leg, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, triangle pose. Left leg straightens. Full round of breath in triangle. Open up your heart. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Exhale, Skandasana to the back. Again, turn your right toes about 45 degrees to the back. Flex your left toes to lift off the ground. Send your hip back. And there's always space to be made here. That may mean widening out your feet. That may mean not as deep of a crease in your right knee. Again, that depth of crease is dependent on the flexibility that you have. So if this is strenuous enough, don't expect too much out of your body. Be there with your body wherever it is. Next inhale, look forward. Exhale, low lunge. Right hand stays down. Side plank, your version. If you're squirrely, grab your big toe pose, and side plank. Kick your left heel straight up through the ceiling. Pull it back with your left hand. Take another big breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Flow it out. Inhale up. Exhale down. Full breath in. Full breath out. All right. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, Malasana. So step or hop your feet. Outside edges of your mat. Yogi squat. Find your deepest version of said yogi squat. And still the same goal here is your hurdler's pose, to get your inner thighs open. So lift up your chest. If your palms are touching, press them into one another and towards the ground so that your elbows press more on your knees to widen them out. Then tuck your tailbone underneath you. Lift your ribs up away from your hips. Ooh, buddy. 3 breaths, y'all. One more full round. Hands down to the ground, either crow pose or child's pose. If you're feeling a rest, hop your feet to the back of your mat, lower your shins down, child's pose. If you're just getting started with your inversions and wanting to get more, crow pose. Palms flat, shoulder width distance like you're going to chaturanga. Toes in towards your wrist. Lift your heels up so your knees get high. Bend your elbows and place your knees up into your triceps. Lean forward just like hurdler's pose. Lift your hips high, belly up and tight. Lift up one foot off the ground. Maybe lift up the other foot. Squeeze your big toes together. Squeeze your glutes, press the ground away. Take one more breath in. And then on your exhale, either step back or flow. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift to your tiptoes. Exhale, child's pose if you're not there already. Hips to heels. Full rounds of breath. If your heart rate's elevated, if your breath is a little out of control, find the space, the capacity to control it back. Reel it back in, it's yours. And when you're ready to move, no obligations here. Shift forward, tabletop, tuck your toes. Press your hips up and back. Lift your right leg high, breathe in. Bend your legs, stack your hips, and draw 2 circles in one direction. And then 2 circles, reverse that direction. 3-legged dog, inhale. Then exhale, low lunge to pyramid pose. And I love blocks in pyramid pose. So I'm grabbing mine. If you want them, grab them. For pyramid pose, step your left foot forward. So feet will be a little bit wider, hips with distance or maybe a little wider, but so that you can pull your right hip back. In fact, take your right hand, place it on your sacrum, your low back, just above your tailbone area. Notice which side is higher than the other. Probably going to be right side higher than left. So what I want you to do is squeeze your thighs together, press your right hip back, and then lift your left hip up in line with your right. Can you try to lower your right by pressing it towards the back of your space? You pull your heart forward away from that. Now whatever's resisting you here, probably in your calf or hamstring area, maybe in your low back too, that's where I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe kindness, calmness, and acceptance. Breathe into the fact that this may be a hurdle that you need to find your way to get over so that progress can be made, so that the next step can happen. Be there with it. Get curious about it. 2 more rounds of breath. If you haven't already, you can round your forehead toward your knees, start to fold a little deeper. All right, from here, bend your right leg, step your left leg to the back of your mat, and then runner's lunge. Take both hands inside of your right foot. Bring your right foot out to the right side of your mat. And we're going to take this into this runner's lunge to a half splits. I'm going to flow this a couple of times. So your left knee is on the ground. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, half split. Straighten your right leg. Press your hips back. And then inhale, pull forward into your runner's lunge. Exhale, press back. Half splits. Let's do that twice more. 4 times in total. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. One more time. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Pause here. All right. And once that feels even, toe heel your foot back through to center. From there, tuck your back toes, lift your knee, 3-legged dog. On an inhale, send your right leg high. Bend your legs, stack your hips, draw circles with your right leg. Whatever that just opened up, work into that openness. Find some new space within that openness. And then half pigeon when you're ready. Bring your right knee to your right wrist. Top of your right foot to the ground. Walk your left knee back. So all that familiarity on your right side before we get into your deep forward fold, deep hip flexor release. For your pigeon pose, find some stability on your feet, your shins, your back leg. Then allow yourself to walk forward. So that can be elbows down to the ground. You can bring your forearms to the ground, bring your forehead down on your forearms. I suppose I like a block under my chest. Again, blocks aren't a luxury that everyone has. So you can take any other prop that you need, or you can let that go altogether. Come to the point above where you feel like you need support. Because there's still space to be found there. In fact, that can be where the majority of space is found. And when I first started yoga, a pose in my mind wasn't a pose until I felt something in that pose, and that it was usually intense. My body wasn't used to it, so until I felt something intense, I didn't feel like I was doing anything. It took a while, but I finally realized that there's subtleties within those feelings. And it often takes getting right to the point before you feel those sensations. And if you can set up securely in that space, and then let yourself deepen from that point, you can often find your space happening a lot sooner than you may have thought. Or if you haven't already, or if you'd like to, walk your hands over towards the left side of your mat, get a side body stretch. And you can again stay up on your elbows or forearms. You can lower down to a block or to your chest. Your legs will stay exactly the same position that they were already at. And just get your side body a little deeper stretch. Come back in through to center. And then we'll take the other side. Reverse your directions though. So three-legged dog, send your right leg high. Bend your legs, stack your hips. You can draw circles, just like we did before. Make those feel good. And downward dog. From there, left leg high, breathe in, bend your legs, stack your hips. 2 circles, one direction. And then the other direction. Three-legged dog, breathe in. Exhale, low lunge into a pyramid pose. Again, back foot steps forward. Once you found that, take your left hand to your low back, your sacrum. Left side is probably higher than the right side now, right? So from here, squeeze your thighs together, pivot your left hip back. Now can you lift your right hip in line with your left, or rather try to lower your left in line with your right? Now, if there's a lot of resistance on one of those versus the other, take that into account. Again, all these movements are feedback. And yoga is the union of your breath and movement. So continue staying focused on your breath with this movement that you're finding, or maybe even lack of movement. It's all about the discovery, whether that discovery is something that we enjoy or something that we don't enjoy. We're there for it equally, just as much. There's 2 more rounds of breath in your pyramid pose. So if you haven't already and you'd like to, round your forehead toward your knee. Bend your left leg, step your right foot back. Runner's lunge. So right knee down, walk your left toes out to the side. And get wide. Feel some tension on your right inner thigh as well. So pull your chest a little bit further forward. Again, there's a little bit of traction so that you get some engagement on your right leg. And we'll take this breath to movement. Breathe in here. Exhale, half splits. And again, you're keeping it wide. Press your hips back. Press through your heel as well. Try to drive it forward. Inhale, pull forward to your runner's lunge. Exhale, half splits. We're doing this 2 more times. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Again, inhale, forward. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. 3-legged dog. Inhale, left leg high. Draw circles, 2 directions. Or rather, 2 circles in one direction. And then 2 circles, other direction. 3-legged dog, breathe in. Half pigeon, breathe out. Left knee to left wrist. Same setup here. Walk your right knee back, make space. Keep pressing through your left leg though too. It doesn't just become disengaged. It's still got some engagement. As you see fit, find your way to relax down. And you attempt to press your knees apart in 2 diagonal opposite directions. So press your left knee forward to the top left corner. Press your right knee down and back away from you. And then can you breathe calmness within that shape, still making a little bit of space? When you're ready, walk your hands over towards the left side of or right side of your mat for that side body stretch to even out. And if you took it on the other side and it didn't feel great, no need to skip or no need to take it here. You can skip. But at least give yourself the chance for your body to decide whether that's the wrong shape or not. One more round of breath. Back in through the center. Both hands to the ground. Tuck your back toes. Lift your knee. Three-legged dog. Last time, whatever you've done before, take it here. Make it feel good. From there, shift forward to a high plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. Floor bow. Man, I don't see this one enough. In fact, I don't do this one enough in class. So, I'm trying to incorporate it a lot more. I love this pose. Grab for your feet. If you need to grab a strap, that's okay. Grab the strap. Squeeze your thighs together. Take a breath in. And then exhale, kick into your feet. Lift your knees off the ground. Lift your chest off the ground. Try your belly up and in. And then for 4 rounds of breath, follow it in and out. There's going to be movement with that. Be with that movement. Keep kicking your feet up, squeezing your knees together. 2 breaths. Last inhale. And exhale, release. Take a cheek to the mat. Keep your feet up to the ceiling. Windshield wiper your legs left and right. Woo. That's a get what you give pose. If you really want to get it, you can get a lot out of it. Come back through to center. Tuck your toes. Press up to a plank just long enough to transition to the top of your mat to a seat. And if you have a different way to get to the top of your seat, feel free to take it. Otherwise, press to plank, step forward. Legs out in front of you. Now just realize that I forgot something that would have probably been, it would have been fun. I promise you it would have been fun. But probably not what everybody would have wanted. Reach your hands up high, breathe in. And exhale, seated forward fold. That thing I forgot was a reverse burpee flow. So that roundness of the spine we talked about at the beginning of class, I was going to incorporate that, but spoiler alert, I forgot. So you'll have something to look forward to next time. Tuesday. Tuesday's the day. One more round of breath in your forward fold. Come up through to seated. Take your legs together, big toes or soles of your feet to touch. Baddha Konasana. So rather than coming to lying on your back first, you get that same forward fold. Then we'll open up. So take a breath in. Press your knees down, elbows down into your thighs rather, to open up your knees. Breathe in, lift up your chest. Then exhale, fold forward. Keep pressing your knees away from you. If you have the space, you can walk your hands out in front of you. But I want you to try to get this opening, deepening through your legs by using the pressure of your elbows. But draw your belly up and in. Still try to bump your chest forward towards the front of your mat. So again, you're not just collapsing and rounding forward. You're still trying to lengthen out. You get a straight spine. You get a lot of length. A round spine, it takes a little bit different effort to get that. Sometimes it can be non-beneficial. Inhale up through seated. Keep your Supta Baddha Konasana legs. Lower all the way down onto your back. Supta Baddha Konasana. Now let yourself get relaxed into this shape. You can play with pressing your feet further away from you. Get less of an angle. More flatness of your low back. One more round of breath. Let yourself become compressed by gravity. And And take your hands out, grab the outside of your legs, close them together. Pull your right knee in, left leg straight. Breathe in to pull. And then exhale, supine twist. Left knee. And as you're twisting towards the left with your right leg, keep pressing your right shoulder down. Again, it's that counterbalance, that counter engagement to twist. If you want even more, try to press your right knee up into your left hand. Press your left hand back into your knee. Inhale through to center, switch your legs. Breathe in and compress. And then exhale, twist towards the right this time. Lift elbow and shoulder down, press it down. One more breath. Back through to center. Heels in towards your glutes. Bridge or wheel. I'm going to take bridge today. Bridge has been calling my name, but I'm going to take supported bridge. One of those blocks that I had is going underneath my sacrum. You got 4 rounds of breath in your bridge. Again, that support sounds good so that you don't have to hold on. You can let your muscles completely relax. Take that support. Maybe take a wheel pose if you're feeling even more squirrely. All together. Press into your feet, take a breath in, lift your hips. Maybe lift your tiptoes, and then exhale, lower slowly down. Tailbone touches very last, one vertebrae at a time. Happy baby. Final pose of class. Now I'm going to take that same modified happy baby we started with, so heels into the glutes. I'm not going to stretch my legs out, because I'm still getting enough inner thigh stretch here. I'm getting some glute stretch. Hip flexor release, chest stretch. This checks all my boxes. And if you need more or less, apply that to your shape. You've got 2 more rounds of breath. Hug your knees back in through the center. Remind yourself of those hurdles. The hurdles you felt through class, the hurdles you thought of when the hurdles first came into your mind. Take a big breath in. I want you to envision every single one of those hurdles, those obstacles. Be there with them. Take a breath in. And then exhale, let them go into Shavasana. Breathe out all of that tension, all of that energy that was necessary to hold on so that you can completely relax. Let your limbs get heavy. Let your belly get heavy, your face. Everything takes on this air of weightiness. And allow your mind to follow. Decide how long you want to rest for. And if there's no definitive answer to that, just feel free to stay as long as you'd like. Turn off the app. Just stay resting, soaking up your practice, soaking up all the gifts, the effects, the residuals. If you're ready to move, do it slowly. Move your fingers and your toes. your chin to the left and to the right. Begin to wake up your neck. Circles with your ankles and your wrist. Then reach your hands above your head. Get a good morning stretch. Point your toes away from your hands. And then pull your knees into your chest. Roll to one side. Fetal pose. Rebirth. Restart. Again, whatever else has happened before this is not as important as what's going to happen next. And with that gift ahead of you, begin to press yourself up to a seat. Eyes stay closed. Little movement as possible. Try to keep the sanctity of your Shavasana in your practice. Press your thumbs to your chest. Lift your chest up to your thumbs. Let your shoulders drop from your ears. Acknowledge your power. Acknowledge your light. And acknowledge the teacher that resides within you. Acknowledging that that's in both of us. We bow and share the words. Namaste. Killer, yeah. That was fun. So, again, I completely forgot that reverse burpee flow. So, if you're feeling like you want to join in tomorrow, I'll be here at 6 p.m., I believe. Come hang out. We'll do some reverse burpees and a bunch of other yoga stuff. Thanks again for joining. Again, please donate blackswanyoga.com/live. There's also a button above here or below here, depending on what format you're viewing this through. Again, thank you so much for joining, y'all. Appreciate it. Very honored. Namaste.